Industry-obliterated GM drops a bomb. General Motors, the American giant, just made a huge decision. They're shutting down a massive industry. Poof! Gone! We're talking about a $279 billion sector, folks. This isn't just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, this is sinking the whole fleet. The announcement sent shockwaves through the country. Politicians are scrambling, experts are panicking, and everyday Americans are left wondering, what happens now? This isn't some abstract economic theory, this is about real people losing their livelihoods. Families are facing uncertainty. The American dream suddenly feels a lot more like a nightmare. $279 billion. That's an astronomical figure, almost unfathomable to the average person. Imagine stacks upon stacks of dollar bills, reaching heights that dwarf skyscrapers. This isn't just a number, it's a symbol of the immense scale of the disaster we're facing. Let that sink in for a second. Take a moment to truly grasp the enormity of this loss. It's not just a financial figure, it's a representation of countless dreams, ambitions, and livelihoods that have been shattered. That's not pocket change, it's more than the entire GDP of some countries. To put it in perspective, this amount surpasses the annual economic output of many nations. It's a sum that could fund entire governments, build infrastructure, and provide essential services for millions. This industry was a cornerstone of the American economy. For decades, it fueled growth, innovation, and prosperity. It was the engine that drove the nation forward, creating wealth and opportunities for generations. It supported millions of jobs, from factory workers to truck drivers to salespeople. These were not just jobs, they were careers, lifelines for families, and the backbone of communities. Each role played a crucial part in a vast, interconnected ecosystem. And it wasn't just about the money. It was about the sense of purpose, the pride in a hard day's work, and the community spirit that thrived in industrial towns. These were places where people knew their neighbors, supported local businesses, and built lives together. This industry was part of our national identity. It was woven into the fabric of American life, symbolizing ingenuity, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of progress. Classic American cars became icons, representing freedom and the open road. It represented innovation, hard work, and the promise of a better future. Engineers and designers pushed the boundaries of what's possible, creating vehicles that were not only functional but also works of art. The assembly lines were a testament to human ingenuity and the power of teamwork. Now that promise is in jeopardy. The once bustling factories are now eerily silent, and the workers who once took pride in their craft are left with uncertainty and fear. The dark clouds of economic turmoil loom large, casting a shadow over the future. The ripple effects of this shutdown are going to be felt far and wide. Like a line of dominoes, one collapse triggers another, spreading economic distress across the nation. Industrial towns that once thrived are now struggling to stay afloat. Suppliers will be forced to close their doors. The intricate supply chains that kept the industry running smoothly are now broken, leaving warehouses empty and machinery idle. The impact is not just on the factories, but on every link in the chain. Local businesses will struggle to survive. The mom-and-pop shops, the local diners, and the service providers that depended on the industry are now facing an uncertain future. Their survival is at stake, and with them, the heart and soul of many communities. The economic pain will be widespread and devastating. Families will feel the pinch as breadwinners lose their jobs, and communities will grapple with the loss of their economic lifeblood. The road to recovery will be long and arduous, but it's a journey we must undertake together. The immediate impact is being felt by the workers. Factories that once buzzed with activity are now eerily silent. The hum of machinery has been replaced by the quiet murmur of worried conversations. Thousands of people are losing their jobs. These aren't just numbers, these are real people with real lives. Each job lost represents a family facing an uncertain future. These are skilled laborers, many with families to support. They have spent years honing their craft, becoming experts in their field. Now, they find themselves at a crossroads, unsure of what the future holds. They're facing an uncertain future, with few options and even fewer safety nets. The job market is tough, and finding new employment that matches their skill set and pays a living wage is a daunting task. But it's not just the workers who are hurting. The ripple effects of these job losses are being felt throughout the community. Local businesses that relied on the patronage of these workers are also struggling. Consumers are also feeling the pinch. The products this industry produced were essential for many Americans. Cars are not just a luxury, For many, they are a necessity for commuting to work, running errands, and maintaining their daily lives. The products this industry produced were essential for many Americans. With production halted, the availability of these products is dwindling. Now, those products are going to become scarce, and prices are going to skyrocket. The law of supply and demand is unforgiving, and consumers are left to bear the brunt of these changes. The American people are being asked to bear the brunt of this corporate decision. Frustration is mounting as they face higher prices and fewer choices. The dream of owning a new car is slipping out of reach for many. They're the ones who will face the consequences of lost jobs, higher prices, and a shrinking economy. Families are having tough conversations around the dinner table, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. The impact of these decisions is far-reaching, affecting not just the workers and consumers, but the very fabric of our society. Section 4. Economic earthquake shockwaves felt nationwide. The closure of this automotive factory is more than just a local event. It's a tremor that will be felt across the entire nation. The empty factory floor is a stark reminder of the jobs lost and the families affected. This isn't just a local issue, it's a national crisis. Business professionals are scrambling to understand the full impact, while everyday citizens are glued to their screens, anxious about what this means for their future. The shutdown of this industry is going to send shockwaves through the entire U.S. economy. The locked factory gates and deserted assembly lines symbolize a halt in production that will ripple through supply chains, affecting countless other industries. We're talking about a potential recession, folks. The falling stock market graph is a clear indicator that investor confidence is plummeting. Empty shopping malls reflect a decrease in consumer spending, which is a critical component of our economy. The stock market is already reacting. Investors are nervous, and with good reason. The numbers on the stock ticker are falling, and traders on Wall Street are visibly concerned. This is not just a blip. It's a sign of deeper economic troubles. This is a sign that something is seriously wrong. Abandoned car dealerships and empty office spaces are becoming more common, indicating a broader economic slowdown. Businesses are closing and office spaces are left vacant, painting a grim picture of the current state of affairs. When a giant like GM makes a move like this, it's a clear indication that the ground is shifting beneath our feet. The closed signs at GM headquarters and the halted production lines are not just symbols, they are warnings of the seismic changes happening in our economy. The government needs to step in. Government officials are meeting to discuss potential solutions, but time is of the essence. Swift and decisive action is required to mitigate the damage and prevent further economic decline. We need a plan to help these workers. Unemployed workers are flocking to job fairs and job centers, desperate for opportunities. Protests are erupting as people demand action. These workers need support, and they need it now. We need to stimulate the economy. An economic stimulus package is being signed, but will it be enough? Small businesses are closing their doors, unable to survive the downturn. Stimulating the economy is crucial to prevent further closures and job losses. We need to prevent a full-blown disaster. The aftermath of this economic earthquake could be as devastating as a natural disaster. Closed businesses with for lease signs are becoming a common sight. We must act now to prevent a full-blown economic disaster. Section 5. History repeats itself, echoes of past collapses. Remember the collapse of the steel industry, or the decline of the auto industry in Detroit? This feels eerily similar. We've seen this story before, and it doesn't end well. When industries disappear, communities crumble. Jobs vanish. People are forced to leave their homes in search of work. The social fabric of our nation is torn apart. We can't let that happen again. We need to learn from the mistakes of the past. We need to act now to prevent a repeat of history. Section 6. A fork in the road, return, or ruin. So what happens now? We're at a crossroads. One path leads to total collapse, the other, to a potential revival. The choice is ours. We can either accept defeat and watch as this industry fades into oblivion, taking countless jobs and livelihoods with it. Or, we can fight back. We can demand that these operations be brought back to the U.S. Bringing back these jobs would be a shot in the arm for the American economy. It would signal to the world that America is still a place where things are built. Section 7. The clock is ticking. Urgent action needed now. This is not the time for complacency. This is not the time for partisan bickering. This is a time for action. We need our leaders to step up and address this crisis head-on. We need to invest in our workforce. We need to create an environment where businesses can thrive. We need to show the world that America is still the land of opportunity. The future of our country is at stake. The time to act is now.